It seriously takes a surprising amount of time to kick in. It looks like it is live everywhere now. Good thing I put that little countdown at the front. Anyways, it is awesome to be back on the stream. It is just me again today. Some people said that they prefer that in my Twitter comments, which was pretty funny. But anyways, we're at it. We've got quite a bit to talk about. Obviously, I missed last week's episode of the Download Illuvium News, but I'm here today. There's a lot going on. Good morning, Kevin from Melbourne, Australia. Okay, the first thing is let me hit you with my intro. So Illuvium has had 3 updates in basically the past week, or maybe like the past 10 days. And there's even more coming to the Illuvium arena. Even tonight or tomorrow, a big new patch is coming that is going to actually change the entire way the Gauntlet is played all over again. Now, the team now has the freedom to focus on gameplay, bug fixing, improvements, adding features, and it is showing some really positive signs for the future of Illuvium. That is what I want to focus on today. We can see that in a lot of the comments and announcements and other things that we've missed throughout the past 2 weeks. So we're going to jump straight into it. I don't see any point in just waiting around before we go. Let's just do it. Okay, so the first announcement we missed is the order book has been added to the fuel exchange. This was absolutely necessary, and we needed this for the longest time. I am glad we finally got it in the system. Unfortunately, it is missing one feature I would have liked to see. If we quickly show the order book, it's pretty sweet. You can see the depth chart. So basically on the right here, you can see that there is over 10 million Solon being sold at that price. In this case, it's 0.00650. Hyperion has about the same, and Krypton is about 8 million. So it's a lot less. Oh no, it's 10 million. It just hadn't updated. Let's see if Krypton needs to update. Hyperion, is at about 8 million. So if you're selling, I would sell Hyperion more than anything. But basically, that just shows how much volume is at that. But it doesn't show price history or anything of that nature, which is a little bit annoying, but it is what it is. There's a lot of orders that thing. The general order book here on the right is really, really cool as well. Visually and in terms of general analytics, I love this sort of stuff. So I'm not one to really complain. I love this sort of stuff. But I hope we get a price history chart as well, saying like last week it was 0.7 and the week before it was 0.8 and this week it's 0.95 or whatever it is. I think that would really go a long way in showing people what is and isn't a good or a bad deal. But this is really good and a big step up, especially for landowners. Those who want to sell their fuel can now see what is going on. And so I dare say if this existed right at the start when everything kicked off, I actually think that the fuel price would be a lot higher now than it is because people would have been like, okay, everyone's selling at this price. I'm just going to sell at this price and wait. But they didn't know what the price was or wasn't or anything like that. And so they just kind of had to throw it out wherever. So I think it would have made a bit of a difference. So the next thing is the Illuvium Arena and Overworld patch has deployed. Here are some of the key updates. Lobbies for Gauntlet. You can team up and ensure playing with friends. You can also do this during ranked. I don't necessarily think that should be the case, but you can. It is what it is. Expanded cosmetic support. So cosmetics, you can now even use emotes and things in Gauntlet, which is super fun and hella annoying when people do it against you. UI enhancements, which are really great, especially the visual you get when you're about to upgrade a unit from stage 1 to stage 2 and so on. Gauntlet ranking, finally that is in there. We actually have quite a few lobbies running concurrently throughout the day. So player numbers are up significantly. I mean, they're not super duper high, but they are up. And so we're loving to see that. So lots of people playing with the ranking. And I think when rewards and things come in, there'll be even more players coming in. It will be a really big deal. Performance optimizations. I've never had issues with performance, so I can't really speak on this personally. If you guys are having a better time with performance, let me know in the chat or in the comments down below. New Xeno prints are now available for discovery. Very cool. I don't know how to find them. They've also addressed some bug fixes, and there are a ton of balance changes. I'm not going to go too deep into this, but basically tanks got tankier and fighters got stronger and things like that. It's been really, really good. They've also fine-tuned a lot of things like augments. They're not perfect still, obviously, but they are much better than they were before. And I think it's easy for us to forget that sometimes. But overall, probably the best state of the Illuvium arena has ever been in, ever since its initial inception. So absolutely loving all of that. You can go through this blog. It's huge. I'm not going to show you it today. Let me just tell you it's massive. All right. Okay. So the next thing we've got is the stat removal. So the team does plan on removing the feature to see stats before you capture an alluvial in the future, but this was prematurely done and has been reverted for now. They also say that in probably a couple of weeks they will remove it. I thought I remembered seeing that, but I have no idea. But just if you're really into capturing alluvials with high stats and things like that, you might want to actually get that done soon, because there's no guarantee it will still be around longer into the future. So please get onto that as soon as you can. Alrighty. So the next thing is there's a limited time Halloween emote bundle currently live on the Illuvidex. It comes with 3 exclusive emotes: the Witch Kuka, Pumpkin Tatopy, and the Grim Reaper. Grim Reaper Ramphy, sorry. It's a Ramphy. I didn't even notice. When you buy it for $15 USD in Ethereum or SRV2, you will get, they will just appear in your wallet, no disc, no nothing, and you get the same 3 every single time. I bought a few copies of them. You can see right here what they look like. There's the Ramphy. He's very cool. The Tatopy, my personal favorite emote of all of them. Absolutely loving this one. And then the Kuka, which is, I like it more than I thought I would, but it's not one of my favorite emotes. One of my favorites is like the deal with it Axodon is pretty awesome. So the next announcement we had throughout the past 2 weeks is there are 2 different Gauntlet patches that have been in the works. For the past few days, we've been playing on patch A, which was the one designed by Neil, I believe, and there was another dev that designed a different one. And patch B will go to the testnet environment soon. Today, tomorrow, something like that. So very exciting to have all these fresh ideas and things just iterating, trying to find the best possible gameplay loop for the arena. That is how game design is supposed to happen. And I'm glad we're getting really into that rhythm now, which is really awesome. But yeah, and then we'll have a survey for patch B as well. He also says nothing about what the big differences between them are. So I'm really looking forward to what that is. I hope patch B is good, obviously, but I mean, you never know. We might just like patch A more. I don't know. It depends how different they are. The hearsay, like the word around the water cooler is that patch B will have the old synergy system 357. I like 2, 3, 4, 6, but 2 and 3 are, I feel kind of weak, and 4 and 6 is kind of where it's at. But 4 and 6 feels really good as a target. Like going for 9 fire is really, really weird, and quite polarizing, but maybe in a good way, because it kind of forces you to play the hyper game very differently. Otherwise, you can just balance it out, get 6 earth, and then balance out your hypers across everything else. I don't know. But yeah, so it's quite interesting. Okay, so now we get into some of the meat and potatoes of the Discord for this week's episode of the Download Illuvium News. So first up, that's not what I think I wanted to look at. Oh, right. So Roger has said that he's not sure he wants to add IOU discs to the next wave like they did previously. It was confusing and it sort of messes with the start of the next wave. So he has said that they're not doing that again, but they have a cool list of personal and community stretch goals incoming. So they've got to adjust it. For anyone who doesn't know, in previous waves, basically it was like buy 10 discs and you get a free mega disc for the next wave. Basically, Roger is saying that they are not doing that again for this upcoming wave. Johnny does say, in contrast to that it hooks people into being involved with the next wave as well as the current one. 100% agree with that. And the fact that he's owed a large amount of discs is the main reason he's eager for wave 3. I agree. I think it was a really great system. Maybe it dished out too many discs. I could definitely see that. There was quite a few, and that's going to make this upcoming wave a little bit weird, unfortunately. But for the most part, I really agree. I think it's a really good incentive, and I think we should be keeping it in some form. But that being said, we don't know what the milestones are going to be for this upcoming wave, and they might be even better. So there's a lot to look forward to regarding Illuvium Beyond Wave 3. So that was what I just had a look at. Let me just close some tabs. There we go. Okay. So the other thing is Kieran said here is that they're going to start working on the 1% of the game in the next couple of months, and it will start to become really polished. Obviously, Gauntlet's in a really solid state right now, but it does have quite a few bugs that can be quite annoying sometimes, although far less than we've had in the past. Anyways, it's about fixing up those sorts of things and getting the game into a really clean state, something where we've already kind of gone over our hump of the cheating and hacking problem. We've dealt with a lot of that. And so there's a lot to be excited for when it comes to Illuvium's future. I have the same page twice. I don't know why or how, but I have the same page twice. So the next thing. So basically, regarding the leaderboard and whether it's going to be reset or not, Kieran says that we can do whatever the community thinks, reset or not. It seems like the consensus is, yes, definitely do a reset, especially since some of the point gain and loss is a bit buggy and it's not really based on ELO either. So there's a lot of reason to be able to do this. And basically, Kieran says that they are going to do a 15K tournament. He's just thinking of how best to hold it, and he needs Rich to be there as well. He thinks to go the guild route for that tournament. I think Rich would prefer a leaderboard, top leaderboard competitors route instead. The Illuvium Inferno is coming back and is going the leaderboard route and just active players route in general, at least for the first instance, and then it'll be more open to all for everything else. So I'm really looking forward to bringing back the tournament series. If you guys are excited for the Illuvium Inferno, let me know down in the chat and down in the comments down below. So the other thing Kieran says, which really got me excited, is there will be a big content creator push all at once with an invitational tournament at the end of the year when Gauntlet is in a really good state. Inside the council, we've been talking a lot about how we would actually structure things like tournaments. And initially, we were thinking of doing a giant prize pool every single month. But later on, especially with Scrubs leading the charge on this one, there was a lot of discussion around the monthly tournaments being a bit smaller, and then using all of these stocked up ILV or whatever to host a really large quarterly tournament every single quarter, which would use the rankings and things from the monthly tournaments, leaderboards, that sort of stuff, to actually figure out who participates in this. And I think that would be so much fun, very exciting, especially if you invite some of the large creators and stuff as well. So that'd be really, really cool. But the next couple of months is about making the games better and growing the user base through leaderboards and tournaments. If that doesn't work, we'll try something else. I'm hoping it'll work. I'm really looking forward to it. So this next one is Jeremy posted a thing with a bunch of different emotes. It's actually really, really neat. What you might not have noticed is you see that Scarabok one there. I'm pretty sure that's one of the ones that's not on IMX yet and is waiting for them to be able to migrate over and things like that. So there, and we can see the Kentucky Fried Chicken, the KFC Kuka one in the very top left as well. So there are a lot of emotes in Illuvium and a lot more to be excited about. Is that a fiery? I don't have a fiery one yet. I need to grab one. Okay. If anyone has a fiery one, send it to me. I got tons of emotes you might want. Okay. So the Illuvium Beyond chat had a lot of chat regarding Roger's new proposal. We'll go over that a little bit later, but basically Roger said it can change whenever there is enough people saying that it is a problem or we notice that it is not having the effect we want. That's why he noted it down in the proposal. But with a new wave, more PowerPoints are released, more shuffling of ranks, and with new features coming, hopefully early next year, it'll become even more of a gamified element. I'm really looking forward to linking your wallet for Illuvatars, and then we'll be able to get all of our Illuvatars set up. So very, very cool. And here is the document here. We are going to go through this briefly because I think it's really important, and it's actually going to come to the IMC very, very soon as well. But basically, if we go through each thing, missed rewards for set one, he's kept it as a really simple thing. A one-time payment were made to cover the missed rewards. I think get it done, get out of the way. I'm totally in favor of that. Continuation of the set one leaderboard. He wants to actually increase the pool from 100 ILV to 250 ILV. and the rewarded ranks from 100 to 200. Weekly rewards will be distributed, and the council periodically reviewing the reward structure to ensure its ongoing relevance and balance. Absolutely love to see this. I think top 200 people definitely leaves reason to increase the ILV pool, and I think it will get a lot more people involved in Illuvium Beyond for sure. Really cool though. You get 0.2 ILV for the bottom 60 places, 0.4 for the bottom 40 places. I think overall looks really great. Top one spot's getting 30 ILV, which is insane, but I love it. 10 ILV for rank 4 to 5, 6 for 6 to 10, and 3 for 11 to 20. There will also be a Wave 3 leaderboard exclusively during the Wave 3 sale. I think this is a really interesting point that I really love. So basically, the leaderboard will only be ongoing during Wave 3, which is really, really good. The pool will contain 2,000 total ILV, and for every Ethereum spent during the sale, the shared pool will actually increase by 10 ILV, which is really awesome to see as well. And maybe a better take than what we were originally planning, with just if you mint a disc, you get ILV rewards through the airdrop. I think this is a really good idea. You're looking at 0.02%. At a 5,000 ILV pool, you get 1 ILV for the bottom players on closing day. So you really only get these rewards on the very last day, which would be quite interesting. I think this should be distributed every week, but getting on the last day is an interesting take on it. Here's one of the best parts. The top 25 of the leaderboard will receive one unique version of one of the Wave 3 Illuvatars. Top 5 will get a special holo version of that. And the winner will receive a one-of-a-kind Wave 3 Illuvatar. And it will be reviewed, obviously. And the Wave 3 Alpha sale, pretty similar to what we've done before, 24 hours or until they sell out, with quite low numbers and at the same price as Wave 3 discs. I love all of that. The only thing I'd be adjusting is I really would be distributing this Wave 3 leaderboard every single week. That'd be the one thing on my mind, but we'll discuss that in the council tonight. So really loving that overall proposal. Hope you guys like it as well. So the next thing is I don't know. Oh, right. So Nil says here that only ranked free-to-play and Leviathan reflecting ownership. Another mode in between just adds complexity and dilutes the player base further. So people are talking about how ownership isn't really a factor in Illuvium right now, where you've got hardcore ownership where you get all the maxed out alluvials, or you've got no ownership where you play just the ranked gauntlet for free. But people are looking for a reason to hold alluvials at all if they can just play the ranked gauntlet. And that's what this discussion has been about. There's the idea of introducing a third mode, but I think everyone's in agreement that diluting the player base further is not the answer. Nil actually proposed a solution later on where ownership gets you like a flat 5% boost on all your stats. And then there's an additional 5% based on stats level and also so on and so forth. So I think integrating ownership in a unique way into Leviathan could be a good answer, like suggested. But I actually think integrating it into regular ranked gauntlet could be really great as well, where just ownership grants you a 4 to 5% boost on all your alluvials that you own. Doesn't kind of break the game too much. Maybe it does a little bit too much. It's really interesting, but I still think tournaments should have complete balanced rule set. I don't know if they should be based on ownership at all. At the same time, it's something like Parallel or Gods Unchained. You can't just walk in there without owning the cards in some capacity. So there's that as well. So it's a very nuanced topic, and I'm excited to see where it goes in the future. So the other thing Nil talks about here is that a small patch is currently in development to address the impact legendary augments are having on the game. Although they're important, they've become too decisive often, as everyone has pointed out so far. He believes most players are happy with the current balance overall, and there are still many viable compositions of potential win games. The last patch brought both improvements and challenges, but it has provided us with valuable insights into what needs to be adjusted further. So loving to see this. Yes, there are a bunch of little things that do need to be adjusted and fixed, and the team is on that. We'll be able to buy discs using fuel. It's not currently completely confirmed. It doesn't seem like you will be able to buy it with fuel at this stage. Wave 4, definitely though. But Wave 3, I don't know if they can actually get it complete in time. Okay, the next thing is this needs to be clarified internally in terms of leaderboard resets, but the only thing he could say with a good degree of certainty is that there will be a ranked reset by start of season 3. He'll keep us posted. I hope there are additional resets. I don't know if we need one every single month. I would like a soft reset every month, but that's just me. So Winnie puts a good point about that whole how broken is Leviathan thing. But basically what he says is that the current model of Leviathan is excellent and perfectly aligns with its original purpose, a mode designed for whales and active players. If you invest money and play well, you can expect significant returns, recouping your investment. If you invest and play poorly, your returns will be smaller. Leviathan is about investment, both financial and time. Every player in Leviathan sacrifices something in pursuit of profit, and he thinks we should leave Leviathan as it is. I think that's a very fair point. It is. I definitely think there should be some sort of balance, but I mean, really, we need to see how many people would be dedicated to Leviathan first. My fear is that you will have such a small pool of players that will kind of defeat the purpose of it entirely anyways. You need to be somewhat inclusive. Right now, it's simply too expensive to have a team that is worth using in Leviathan. And they all have to be level 60 max stats, or you just don't bother. Or just like a RAM fee that's maxed out, or just don't even bother playing it. And so I think that will have quite a small pool of players is all. But if it doesn't, then great. And we can keep going from that. And yep, leaderboard reset is completely unanimous, by the way. It's 89-1. So basically it's going to be reset. Okay. So now we've got some community. We have the topic of the week, something I really want to briefly talk about. Okay, so the Illuvium Gauntlet is changing drastically and frequently, and it's something that we have been absolutely desperate for a very long time. Now, if I had to put a pin on everything that I think isn't really working that well, it's the augments do feel quite polarizing. After learning from Paz yesterday on stream, I am much better at Gauntlet, and I see that a little bit less. But at the same time, they're kind of dictating what you play in the end. Now, I know that's the nature of this format, and it's the nature of TFT and stuff as well, where whatever the game gives you, that's what you should play. But at the moment, if there's a disconnect, it can be pretty harsh. For example, if the game's really putting you into fighters, but you're getting all Scion augments, playing both of them at once is really difficult, and if not, a weak overall strategy. And so I think being careful around that is really important. But the augments can be really polarizing. There are just so many in there that are like insanely strong that it's very much, if you get it, now I've got a shot at first place. If you don't get it, my chances at first place are pretty slim. They're not impossible, but they're pretty slim. But if my opponent gets, say, 2 of them, I can pretty much kiss first place goodbye. There's no way I'm going to be able to get that. And that's not something you want in the game. You want everyone to have some sort of equal opportunity at that. I think there's a few options here. Like you give everyone the same 3 augments. That could be kind of make the game kind of stale though. Because then everyone's trying to run the same comps and it gets really weird after that. But I think they have some features coming up in the future, something they're referring to as the Forge, which will give you a lot more control over which augments you have, you can create and things like that, similar to TFT. I don't know what it's going to look like exactly. I don't think it's going to be like a 1-for-1 like TFT where you just combine items and you get the outcome or whatever. But I do really look forward to more control over the augments, but more importantly, more augments. We simply don't get enough, if you ask me. Maybe we get too many legendary augments. We pretty much split there's 30, I think it's 30, 70 in terms of how many regular legendary augments and how many regular augments we get. It definitely should be less legendary augments and a lot more regular augments, and then make the regular augments less powerful. But still, it's hard to make them less powerful and still meaningful. But things like Lifestorm need to be hard nerfed, and there's a few others as well. And once you hard nerf them to bring them a bit more baseline, I think it does get more interesting. But I don't like the idea of the augments dictating the path of play. That being said, I'm absolutely loving this, and I'm playing more often than I thought I would. Just as often as I can, getting it a chance. I want to move up the leaderboard. I'm not terrible at Gauntlet anymore after Paz showed me how to not suck. That's the only way I can describe it. I was pretty bad at the game. I was doing a lot of things really wrong. You guys should check that video out if you suck at Gauntlet. Trust me, it will help you a lot. But yeah, it's been really, really good. I'm excited for the future updates and changes too. Like when the Ranger weapon gets added in, it's going to feel like a completely different game. I don't know why it's taking such a long time. Maybe it's design iteration. They're trying to figure out the best way to incorporate it. But I can't wait for that to come out because it's going to open up so many more synergies, so many more strategies. It's going to change the entire way you treat the shop. And it will diverge so much more from TFT, which I think one of the things Illuvium actually really needs right now. The other thing that Illuvium actually really needs is an adjustment in terms of win streaking and lose streaking. Right now, win streaking is such a big advantage that it's kind of hard to play from behind. You can a little bit, but it's really difficult. And if you're not getting if you have a big win streak, you've got the best chance at winning. And if you've got a big lose streak, your chances are okay, but playing from behind is pretty difficult. Whereas in TFT, you have things like the carousel, which try to help the players from behind catch up. You have a catch-up mechanic in pretty much every game in existence. Like Mario Kart's the obvious one with like the blue shell and getting better items when you're behind. The more catch-up mechanics we introduce, probably for the better. But obviously, you have to balance it really well. Otherwise, people just attempt to come last and then get all the good items and then play for the first place. Like in Mario Kart, for example, you can get Bullet Bill, but if you're still really far behind, it's not going to do you a whole lot of good. And then you're going to be in the middle of the pack and you're not going to get another Bullet Bill. You get the idea. As long as it's well balanced, I think it'll make the game even more interesting. And I'm really looking forward to that. So let's get into some of the community content. Okay, so what we've got here is the full Hype Squad plays Illuvium. We're actually seeing so many views and likes from this channel here. And we can see that he's loving playing the game. I didn't even know they had that little bar there where you can see where people are watching.
Why did I do that?
Playing the Overworld, going out, capturing.
I just figured out how to play the game even better. Wait, you need...
So definitely go show them some love. We'd love to see it. We'd love to see it. Okay. The next thing is Lizard Labs. Okay, so Lizmas is ending soon, but they still have a few partners left to announce. Illuvium and Uprising have been added to their Lizmas campaign. I don't even know what Uprising is. Their community members and asset holders get a higher score in their programmatic airdrop, increasing their overall position to qualify for Liz at TGE. Unfortunately, due to IMX Passport not being integrated, they cannot actually see your IMX Passport assets. Me, myself, I think I have one of the emote things. And I think I have the lizard jacket thing from the Down Under event. I don't know what other assets I actually have on layer 1 when it comes to Illuvium. I hope I have quite a few, but I have no idea. Okay. So the next one is Illuvium. When they announced that they dropped the Arena and Overworld patch, they actually released a really neat 20-second video. So we are going to watch that right now. I love that battle board. Those battle boards are so good. Look at this one. Oh, they're so clean. I want them so bad. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. I know I did. The other one is my video with Paz, where the World Rank 1 teaches a noob how to play Illuvium. I learned so much, and now I don't suck at the game, and you can too. You should check it out. Another one is actually, Paz did a video recently where stream stops if we lose a game in Illuvium Gauntlet, and it went for 4 hours. So he must have done pretty well. So I guess at the end here, he must have lost a game. No, even then, he was still killing it.
12 Meteoric and Warpwave Assault. Those two augments work really well.
Let's see how we wrap this one up. I want to see.
Which is one of the key factors that you get good augments on your forest. Otherwise, late game is not going to work.
He's got hard fighter comp, similar to what he was teaching me. With the Fernite and Ray, he's got the Singe at the back. Loving to see that. And the Flood in the back left corner. Going to distract that Malura and that Stabin. Although I'm hearing Stabin is good now. Let's see how this last game turns out.
Now we're under 30 seconds and we have a 30-second delay, so now I'm sure nobody can snipe me. And now we're just gonna go over here because I assume they are gonna reposition as well to the other side. Since this side has worked out, we're gonna try it again.
He's doing a flip. Fernite at the front.
I like that play.
The opponent also has Fernite. They're almost a mirror comp besides the Lay having the Vanguard up.
Yep.
He does have the blue. He does have the bloom.
One guy on
They
the
both
Vanguard,
have the bloom.
really good.
A Caradulo went down so
Warp
fast.
wave triggers. Oh, it triggers anyway.
Oh, they're going to be able to take out that Riptorus, though.
Lands, hopefully.
I think it's GG after that, right?
Since it's dead. As soon as Melora casts, Forest is gonna run away.
Hazard's positioning is just so much better than mine.
Big problem here, I think, was again. Oh, you play Berserkers. I don't know how we can win against Berserkers without Berserkers, but I guess it's just the augment. Less positioning. Less good. Yeah.
And he wins it.
4 games played. 3-1. No, wait. 5 games played. 2 times third place, and 3 times we won the game.
There you go. Paz killing it on his stream the other day. Love to see it. So, yeah, that's it for this episode of the Download Illuvium news. I better get going to my Illuvium Council meeting to make sure I'm keeping everything running, keeping everything smooth, and just really managing the DAO best I can in conjunction with the other council members. It's a lot of fun, but yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I hope you guys learned something new about Illuvium or got up to date with everything. I think next week's going to be crazy. We're going to get that patch in the next day or two, and then shit's going to kind of get real. Whether it's crazy good or crazy bad, I don't know. Who knows? But it will be on testnet, so it'll be a different build, different builds, and you can play either one, basically, which would be really cool for comparison, actually. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Have a good one, guys. Oh, and with that, the download is complete. Have a good one, guys.